Aquarium V1. Aquarium V2. Aquarium V3. Oh, Jesus Christ. There's so many of them. Okay, those weren't there last I checked. Jesus Christ. How do they... They're multiplying like rabbit rays. Oh boy. Look at them go. So I was playing Subnautica while I was sick for a little bit, but specifically I had rules where it's like you can farm and you can build, but you can't make progress and you can't build anything new and so on. Kind of similar to previous farming sessions and stuff. So I did some base construction, pretty much just this, more or less, but... Wow, there's a lot of rabbit rays now. There's an excess of rabbit rays. A comical amount of rabbit rays. Let's look at it from outside so you guys can take a look. And there's the normal size stalker over there. We doing this? Oh, we want to fucking go? You want to aim better? That was a weird attack. Did he see my aquarium and try to attack that? So as you might imagine, I spent a significant quantity of time farming quartz because I wanted the whole thing to have glass windows on the outside, in addition to being a 3-story tall aquarium. Turns out 3 floors is a little overkill. My main goal was just I wanted to make the freaking kelp grow all the way out for once. And 3 floors is unnecessary. It stops at 2. So the density of the fish flying around might have looked better with if it was only 2 floors, but that's how many I made, and I want all the outside windows to also be glass because basically. So for that reason, this floor over here is extra reinforced now to make up for the not being reinforced over here, because that's how hull integrity works. It's one unified score across the entire base that just explicitly makes no sense and is baffling. But yeah, I had some fun with this. Because yeah, I was sick for like 2 days. I couldn't record anything because my throat and other stuff was messed up, and then mostly the first day I couldn't speak properly without some pain and so on, and then the next day I was just a fog from being sick, so it was my brain that was all messed up. So instead I just kind of did stuff like this for a bit, because I do like being in Subnautica and just kind of messing around and doing things in it. And I like this addition to my base. I like it.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
I went with 4 kelp because I wanted to see what it would look like vertically and stuff. Doop. But on that subject, I will say that I do have a planted membrane tree because I brought that sample back with me the first time around, right? Yeah, there it is. There's not really anyone in here at the moment. As far as I can tell, it's impossible to... I might send someone new in here. It would be kind of neat to put a bunch of stalkers in here or something. But yeah, this creep vine, as far as I can tell, cannot be removed. You can't unplant it, and you can't kill it with a knife. I've tried. It just kind of is stuck forever, half-grown, until you, like, add another one or something. Here's a membrane tree in a well-lit room now. You straight up, like, you basically can't even see the membrane when it's not dark. Yeah, when it's not glowing. Just fades out completely, aside from this side of it. But it's a cool little thing. Really weird plant, just across the board. I don't know what I'll do with this. It's kind of a weird... This is kind of a weird defunct room. I could have turned it back into a water farmer. But, I did want it to be... I wanted to put these reinforcements somewhere, because these are all worth like 7 points or something like that. So I kind of went that route with it. That is an excess of water. Holy crap. Might as well take it with me. It's gonna keep making more. But let's take a look at our little friend that I've neglected here. Because the weird egg that you could see a cute thing inside of has hatched, and in a shocking turn of events, the cute thing inside of it just looks like what the egg looked like. It's actually not much of a surprise. There he is. He's a cuttlefish. You can pick him up. It's a weird feeling when you just pick him up. A curious species hatched from an egg in an alien containment. How you doing? That's not how you scan. Is it normally orange when it scans? Indigenous life form, cuttlefish. Yeah, there's a sand shark in here and there's a stalker in here. Just kind of doing their thing. Having the gasopod and the stalker and the sand shark all being tiny is a weird look. And having them, none of them attack anything is also weird. How do they survive in my alien containment exactly? Like, what feeds them? I don't know. I like that I just have, I got my wish. I have a bunch of rabbit rays now, like I always wanted. The cool, docile thing that you can't eat, but also looks cool. They really do just have a rabbit head at the end of a, at the end of a stingray without the stinger. They just kind of flop around. It is actually like overcrowded in here. It's a little uncomfortable. I'm surprised the sand shark. Surprised the sand shark doesn't try to like take off, go underneath or anything. But really, they everything in here just kind of swims around. I think everyone in here right now currently has the same AI, basically, is how the game works. And they'll just kind of wander up and down over and over again in whatever space they have. And they're just playing the swim animation that each particular creature has. But none of them attack, none of them eat anything. It'd be kind of cool if there was like a, you had to like run it like a farm, like if you had to actually figure out how to feed them and manage that. Like build a feeder that's on a timer or something that you have to supply resources to, or plant certain plants that they eat or whatever. Would be kind of cool. Herbivore's large cuttlefish. That's a large one? A small, large, small, large, small. Okay. A small gray-colored herbivore. The cuttlefish displays high levels of intelligence, curiosity, and attachment. Strangely, this species has not been encountered in the wild, and the scanned specimen has had to be artificially hatched with an alien containment unit. Life cycle. In the absence of wild specimens, little can be known for certain about the cuttlefish's life cycle. It is possible that environmental conditions have changed, forcing the species to the edge of extinction and leaving its eggs in permanent stasis. It is also possible the cuttlefish has been genetically altered or even imported to 4546b from another world. Behavior. We do not know that the cuttlefish is a herbivore which displays... we do know that the cuttlefish is a herbivore that displays highly social behavior in its own interspecies interactions, as was observed in earth dolphins before their extinction. This creature seems to... Oh, the dolphins are extinct. This creature seems to understand the concept of other minds, the prime indicator of true sentience, and attempts to communicate with a series of chirps and chirrups. Interaction. Evidence suggests the cuttlefish is capable of understanding and following simple commands, in addition to assessing the emotional state of individuals around it and responding in kind. Like a dog! Yay! Assessment. Emotional connection between living creatures is an essential component of psychological health. Aww. It's like the dog of the sea. But since all the dolphins are super dead. I've never read Peeper? I've never read Peeper, really. You fast prey fish encountered in shallow waters enriched in protein. Developed side-facing eyes capable of discerning colors not just in shallow waters but in a variety of lighting conditions. Is also able to close its eyelids, thus preventing light from reflecting off the lenses and rendering the peeper almost invisible to nighttime predators. Powerful fins. This species has evolved powerful fins which enable rapid acceleration in still water, the ability to leap meters into the air to avoid pursuers. Beak, likely used to break down corals through and tough vegetation. An unusually large nasal cavity serves no obvious purpose and appears to be specially evolved to detect a single specific enzyme. Nothing encountered on the planet so far produces a matching odor. Expulsion tubes. The tubes attached to the peeper's torso are connected directly to its stomach and gills and appear to be designed to expel its contents on demand, purpose unclear. While the peeper is well adapted to survive in shallow waters, a number of its features serve no discernible purpose. It would appear to be just as well suited to survive in deeper waters, and is somewhat more intelligent than the usual small herbivore. Edible, high calorie count, further research required. Wow, you're like teasing a secret there, aren't you? Further research required is highlighted here. It says that a bunch of things in its body don't serve a discernible purpose, but it hunts down a specific enzyme and has expulsion tubes? So it can like hunt down and then expel a specific enzyme. This is interesting specifically because of where else this has shown up. Let's see. No, not survival package, time capsules, geological data downloads, right? Alien data. It was the vent thing. Where was the vent? Scan data. Alien vent. Peepers can be observed entering and exiting the pipe network without signs of distress. So these aliens hunt... It says the peepers hunt down a specific enzyme and expel it. It also says that they go through this alien vent. That's interesting. Well, that goes in line with something else I wanted to do, because today I wanted to investigate something around there. Ha. We're gonna be facing fears today, a bit, is what's gonna be going on. So, hooray. What is that? Hey, look at the peeper jump. Alright, everybody have fun over here. I'm gonna be... I'm gonna hate today. I have a to-do list that is not good for my mental health, so it's gonna be great. We're gonna be processing some shit. So obviously there's the worrying life pod that says, hey, it went down so deep that we had to abandon it before it even reached the bottom, and that was scary. And I don't want to go there, but that's the next life pod. But that's actually not on the top of my list. I got two other things I want to do. One thing I had in mind is I wanted to go to the... Yeah. Actually, my dialit is way the hell out in the middle of nowhere right now. We'll get to that. I want to investigate the hole, the creepy hole. I also might put it on my... I'm torn here a little bit. I might put it on my list to try to, I might try to scan the Reaper. Yeah. I know, right? Bloop. 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 Oh, that's you. You're shooting at me from down there. I was like, what am I hearing right now? I was actually kind of confused. Alright, so... things are gonna get interesting. You're done already. There you go. Oh, you have one salt ready for me. Okay. That works for me. Because if I'm gonna explore the creepy hole, I need food sources. Hello, food sources. How do you do? Come here. What's that? Oh, it's a Gary. I would need some salted fish if I'm gonna go in the creepy hole. Because I need food sources that last. Thankfully, the thing just kind of gave me salt a moment ago, so that's handy. Does salt go cured food? Flick. I don't think the salted food goes bad, does it? It keeps well. It'll probably last long enough for today, at least. Get these power cells. I've been charging. And does anything I have right now on me need a recharge before I leave? Oop, laser cutter. Habitat builder. Alright, that's the stuff on my main bar. Let's put the repair, What? Where'd you come from? Let's put you away. Apparently, oh wait, no. Oh right, stuff that's in your on your bar is in your inventory. For a second there, I thought I had 2, and I was like, wait a minute, what? But I'm just wrong about things, as it turns out. Yeah. You lose water when you drink this stuff. Did I just say you lose water? You lose water when you drink that stuff. There's 1 water here for some reason. I don't know why that was there. Might as well swap out the repair tool, too. There we go. Those will get done when they get done. This base takes care of itself, more or less. Now on to the next thing that's been on the shit I've gotten done lately. In my maintenance level. So, the game has been threatening me a little bit, in that we went down the spooky hole, and specifically the alien documentation, data downloads, terminal data. Here's what scares me. No. Where is it? In here somewhere, right? Alien vent, alien arch. We have a thing saying how, like, alien shit is super far away. It's the really long document, right? I don't know where it is. We had one that told me, like, kind of where each of the next alien facilities may be and stuff like that. But I can't find it. These are, yeah. These are all individual things. I feel like a crazy person right now. I know I've seen this before. But it was like, it was listing scary stuff, like being incredibly far away and stuff like that. It wouldn't be geology, would it? That'd be weird. That'd be really weird. Operations logs? You wouldn't put, like, randomly public documents. I was like, did they put it in, like, a weird place? Alien facility locations is under codes and clues. I guess that makes some sense, actually. But it's a weird categorized. Yeah, 1,200 meters. 800 meters. And then places of unknown distances, which is even scarier. So I'm like, oh, we're gonna have to go fucking deep. So based on that clue, a little bit of scary, I've been preparing you for a big... Hey, I can see all of the signifiers here. I didn't realize how obviously you could see all those from out here. That's trippy. I am the scary octopus. I only bit for a second, then I went away. You can see the poster. Anyway, here's why I was hesitating, as I wanted to preamble this. Hi.
All systems online.
Yeah, I got busy. There's 2 things of titanium. Got some salt, got some quartz, got some copper, got some silver, got some gold. Admittedly, it's mostly the stuff from the ship, just moved over. I mean, it's the stuff from the base moved over. But some of it's, there's some additional farming that happened. Mostly the rubies! I got a bunch of rubies, which we're about to go over to that base. And I got some of these things, because these coral pieces get used in really specific parts of, like, base building and stuff like that, for, like, scanner rooms and other devices. And I don't want to go far away from this coral area and not have the coral I need. So I've got a bunch of stuff. This was some of the main stuff, is I got a lot of the kelp things to make rubber and to make lubricant, so I could have those things around if I need them. Gas pods, gel sacks, just kind of a general, just things that came to mind. And I've got some unlabeled ones that I don't have anything in yet. Nickel and kyanite, I guess. Why are you purple? Oh, I probably previously tried to put, like, lead. Yeah, I had a different layout in mind at one point. Kyanite's like a blue. There we go. I haven't discovered either of those yet, but I have had references to them already, I believe. We'll see about that. Aside from that, I also just did this tedious work. Because I got a bunch of you fucks. Power cells, obviously. Which I was just charging 2 of them back there. I believe these ones are all... Oh, that one's not charged. Whoops. And that one's not charged. Ooh, they cannot tell which ones are not charged. They just get lost in the fuzz, in the mess. Shit. That spooks me out. I don't want to find out that they're secretly uncharged ones. Hey, the portraits are back. And then just a peeper aquarium. And I just kind of have these in the corner. Not necessarily for any good reason, they're just kind of there. I'm actually a little worried they might be consuming power, even though the thing's turned off. Never really sure. And this is just an overflow thing, there's nothing in it right now. Just need to have an overflow compartment ready, even though those ones that are built in are all basically being used as overflow because of the fact that I can't label what's in them, so I don't really know what's in them most of the time. So that's what I've been keeping busy doing. Now let's go on a vacation. Also, let's store some of these waters in like one of these guys or something. Good enough? I'll hold on to these for my own uses. We're going out. But before I go out, I'm putting those right the fuck back in there. Boop boop. Charge for me. I guess those must have been from my like the 0134. Those are probably from the big scary expedition. It's still filling up even though I took it already. Those are probably from the big scary expedition I went on, where I was dealing with the Degassi base, which we unfortunately know the end of that storyline. That's one of the things that makes me feel like I'm far along in the story, is the fact that that's one story that seems to have just dried up. The only remaining thing is that we might find out what happened to the woman. The security officer, I believe she was, or engineer. I might find out what happened to her based on the fact that, well, we haven't found out what happened to her. Hang on. Sorry. I had one last idea. If I'm going anywhere in my poor little sea moth, I should take one of you with me. Maybe even a couple. I've got them to spare. You might think, wow, that looks like an exorbitant amount of effort to expel. On one hand, my way of measuring how much effort I may or may not be expelling was compromised by the fact that I was sick and bored and had rules where I wasn't allowed to make progress and stuff like that. So I don't know. But on the other hand, power cells are actually really easy to make. Like, really easy to make. Is kind of constantly surprising to me, because a battery, it's primarily copper. I'm under attack, aren't I? Yep, never mind. And then I forgot to pull this back out. If I remember correctly, a battery is copper and those mushrooms right there. So a battery is exceptionally easy to make. You just kind of have to keep farming copper, which is a little bit of a pain, but not that much. It's just slightly more rare of the common starter resources. Then you just take 2 batteries and you wrap them in a rubber thing. And I think one rubber thing, one roll of rubber is 2, it's just 2 of the glowy pods from the kelp. And that's it. You have, just like that, you have a power cell. It's absurd. Here's where I left you. The reason was, I originally walked over here with the, prawn suit because I wanted to mine stuff like... Is that a cave over there? It is. I was here with the prawn suit because I wanted to mine things. Like the, is this a tiny dead-end cave? I think I've been in this cave before because it stands out. I wanted to mine the giant deposits with the drill, so I came here with the prawn suit. On foot originally, but then I came here with the Cyclops, and then I pulled you out of the Cyclops because I made this whole place just because I wanted to scan the area for rubies. But get ready for a cool sight. This is really cool. This kind of made all the effort worth it. I only got a handful of rubies out of this. It was frustrating because when you scan this area for rubies, you actually don't really get results. It's the first place I encountered them, so I thought I'd find a bunch more, at least a whole box's worth, but I kind of didn't, and that was unfortunate. But look at this cool fucking hologram. Look how dynamic and 3D and crazy it is, because it's not just flat like the one I first made. Look at that level of verticality right there. Like that up here is where the reef backs and the red grass is. And then that's where I am right now. It's like that's the craggy cliff things all around here that have like those vertical columns. Vertical columns that are almost certainly made from gas escaping from volcanic activity deep below the surface. That's almost certainly gas escaping through the crust and carrying soil with it, and that's how you get the spires. They could also be lava tubes of it, potentially, but yeah, weird vertical spires tend to be related to volcanism. And then here is the hole. There's the hole I first explored. Somewhere around here you'll find where I found Captain Keen's, or Commander Keen's, pod the first time around. Here's where we found rubies. There's like a crash somewhere around here when we first came through. That's where we are right now. And then somewhere around here is where the really creepy, dark, deep place is that I am probably going to explore next, like right now. And then I think if you go over here, this is where we were when we got to Degassi. It's actually like right around the corner. You can see the giant vertical sheer wall between this zone and that zone. And then you can just see like these chasms here. Like I would say like around here, probably where that big crash was that I was investigating that gave me all of the arms for the prawn suit. Sorry if I sound distracted with my own speaking. I'm like in that stage of being post-sick where like speaking kind of knocks things loose and like in my sinuses and my blah. I might pause and stop recording and come back periodically throughout this session just to sort of clear out. But if I were to guess, I think that around here is probably the chasm, the trench of sorts where I was investigating that one crash. In fact, these are, oh yeah. Look at these little, look at these. These are the spikes. This is where the sharks were. So here's where the not sand sharks. Wait, are they called sand sharks? I don't, whatever. The sharks that look like dragons. Those guys were around here, and the pod that gave me a Markiplier doll was over here-ish. So yeah, the crash was over here, and then down here is probably the hole I explored that eventually brought me to Degassi. It's a little hard to make out, but I think that's what we're looking at overall here. It's actually really cool to be able to see in some level of detail what the whole area more or less looks like. It's super interesting to me. But I'm somebody who literally did a major where we draw maps. This is excess that I couldn't take back with me, but also my boxes were full when I was here with my Cyclops and all the boxes were full, so this is just more overflow of lead and lithium that just kind of is easy to find in that hole when I was exploring around in it. Look at that. That's the floating island. This is my favorite. I immediately, when I realized where I'd built this, I had to build these extenders. Partly because I was hoping to find more rubies, but also because I wanted to see what this area looked like in the full range of the scanner room. It's actually super detailed and neat looking. And this whole place is being powered by this, which is really a self-managing system. I don't need solar panels, I don't need thermal shit, I don't need really much of anything. Just this pretty much takes care of a scanner room for me. I just have a bunch of lantern trees in here, which mostly unnecessary. One was probably enough. This is just symmetry and shit. But you just plop them in there, and those are. Unfortunately, it has an annoying tendency to melt the fish, the pods first and the fish afterwards. I'm like, no, get rid of the fish. They're messing with my symmetry, and you can't remove them. So I can't get a nice grid of lantern fruit in here until it decides to melt the fish. But this place might never be turned on again because I kind of already did the main thing I wanted to do with it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the cool thing. Now I'm gonna go in the scary hole.